right onto California 111 South.
It's 2024, and this is our first visit to the Salton Sea. We didn't know much about the area before we visited, but we learned a few things, and here are some key points. The Salton Sea is located in Southern California, just east of San Diego, and actually you might even meet some Californians who don't know this, yet it happens to be the biggest lake in the state. As large as it is, there have been larger bodies of water in this area. Before we created the dams and the dikes in the Colorado River for irrigation, that same river periodically flooded this basin, creating a huge lake that reached from current-day Palm Springs all the way down to Mexicali. This was Lake Cahuilla, and scientists say it existed here as recently as 1700 and since dried out as it had done many times before. But what we know today as the Salton Sea was created in 1905 by humans when the Colorado River breached an irrigation canal. Fresh water poured into the Salton Sink for the next 2 years while they tried to get it under control, and the current lake was formed. Once that breach was fixed, the lake would have dried up on its own, but for decades it was fed by irrigation overflow from farms along the river. And during that time, the Salton Sea became a popular tourist destination. In more recent years, the water was cut off, and drier conditions means that the lake has continuously shrunk. This, of course, has had a devastating impact on wildlife. The last of the fish living in the lake died off several years ago due to increased salinity, and shrinking wetlands have left fewer desirable stopping places for migrating birds. But it hasn't just impacted the animals. As you can imagine, the changing coastline devastated lakefront businesses and neighborhoods, and the now exposed lake bed containing decades of chemical runoff is raising health concerns related to air quality. Our first look at the lake, on the other hand, was beautiful. The air quality, according to our weather app, showed that it was as good as other parts of the desert, and we didn't get any whiffs of that infamous stench that we'd heard about. Maybe we came at the perfect time in optimal weather, or maybe it's because the fish died off so long ago that the smell's old news. Without spending more time here, it would be tough to say. Which brings us to our trip.
Will we stay here? Maybe.
We left Joshua Tree without specific plans for where to stay, but we did know that we wanted to go to a place with some hookups in order to flush out some tanks and do all that stuff. So Dick found the Fountain of Youth. The Fountain of Youth Spa is essentially a mobile home community that was built around a natural hot spring back in 1966, which of course was the heyday of the Salton Sea. We rolled in without a reservation, and the people in the front office were so nice. They put us next to some full-time residents so we could be close to the dog park, and we would even have a view. I still don't know for sure if the full-timers are all 55 and up or not. It sort of seemed that way, but nothing in the documentation says we weren't allowed to be there.
Hello. We're in the jacuzzi. Am I in focus? I can't tell because I don't have my glasses on. We're in the jacuzzi at the Fountain of Youth. Do you feel youthful?
I feel like I'm in focus.
Good. I can't tell because I'm not wearing glasses. But yeah, it was only like $46 a night to stay at this RV resort at the Salton Sea, or near the Salton Sea, and they have all these amenities, including this cool jacuzzi. Good. Okay, I'm gonna put this away so other people can come in.
During the day, the pools were filled with people doing water activities, and then in the evening, it was so beautifully lit up. And the night that we were there, they had a dancing in the street event. People were playing pickleball and shuffleboard at all hours. It was a pretty cool vibe.
Where's Abby? Does she want something? Does she want something? Does she want us to get out of bed? Oh my goodness, you're so close. Hi, cutie. Hi, cute puppy. Are we taking too long? Good morning. We're here at the Fountain of Youth, and we're going to check out the cafe for breakfast.
We are leaving a mineral spa for RVs. It was really pleasant. We did a little jacuzzi, we got power and hot water, we both took showers this morning at their facility. We had a nice breakfast yesterday at the cafe. We got to see kind of how they live. We used the laundry, that was good. Got nice fresh towels and everything now. Abby got to play in a dog park. A lot of good stuff in 2 little days for us. I think that was a good little refresh. So now we're all set to try camp if we want to. We don't know where we're going for sure, but we'll see. I'm just really curious to see what this place has to offer. Right now we're gonna try and head towards the mud pots and see if there's anything that we can see there. I don't know if it's closed, if it's safe, or any of that stuff, so we're just gonna go kind of check out the scene. This is a very bumpy ride, and also you probably won't be able to hear it very well. Oh well. Okay, bye. On the way to the mud pots, we decided to stop over at Salvation Mountain to check it out. I'll let the photos and footage speak for themselves. taking us to some mud volcanoes, and we don't know if it's going to be worth it or not.
Maybe. Maybe it wouldn't be worth it.
This is where the visitor center instructions pointed us, so I think this is allowed. Let's talk for a second about the mud pots. The Salton Sea sits on a geothermal field with enough activity that there are currently 11 power plants like these harnessing their power. The mud pots are indication of this. Mounds of mud with gurgling water from the release of carbon dioxide from vents underground. Here we are at the mud volcanoes, and or the mud pots, whatever you want to call it. And I would love to go get some gurgling footage. But there's a very clear sign there that says no trespassing. I did a little research online before and found out that there was an incident where a woman got really close and got burned and sued the company, so it looks like this is all shut down now. I thought maybe because just 2 days ago we were given directions from the from the state park people that this would be a place we're allowed to come, but wishful thinking. I got a couple shots with the zoom lens so you could see that we were here, but I don't know that we're gonna get anything all that interesting. Just the fact that they exist, though, man, they're just crazy. It's fascinating. So now, here we are on this muddy, muddy road. Geothermal activity underneath us.
I'm sure it's fine.
More recently, these power companies discovered that the brine in these areas has a high lithium content, and that lithium can actually be harvested. Now, the California Energy Commission is saying that there's enough lithium here in the Salton Sea to support not only all of the U.S. demand for lithium, but an additional 40% of the world's needs. Considering the goal to move to electric vehicles, this is pretty huge. Nestled among all the power plants and agriculture is the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge, and we decided to stop in. Our first impression was that it was small and run down. It looked to us like another dilapidated casualty of people's declining interest in the area. But I was mistaken. It wasn't until I was going over this footage later that I started to really appreciate it more fully. First off, we were just at the visitor center, but the refuge is actually more than 37,000 acres of protected area. It was established in 1930 by Herbert Hoover and later was dedicated to Sonny Bono as a tribute to his conservation efforts when he was alive. As for its importance, this whiteboard is a hint. Birders here have listed more than 95 different species just recently stopping on their migration. Before we left, we walked out to this viewing area and saw Rock Hill and its corresponding sign. I didn't realize it when we were there, but Rock Hill is part of the Salton Buttes. It's actually a volcano, one of 5 lava domes in a 7-kilometer chain in this area. How amazing is that? Now we're on the other side of the Salton Sea, and we don't have a place to stay tonight yet. So we're hoping maybe we'll find something over here. I don't know. No, we didn't. We drove all the way around the entire lake and ended up back where we started at the Salton Sea Recreation Area. We stayed at one of the state campgrounds there. I wish that the camera could capture all these yummy colors. It's like so pastel and washed out, like sun bleached. It's so pretty. Look at you guys. Look at you guys, little desert blooms. That's a pretty place. I really need to patch this. I think Abby thought it was a toy one day. Isn't it interesting that there's like no watercraft at all out here? I know there's no docks, so you have to carry, because the water has receded so much that the docks are no longer at the water.
So if you want to launch a boat, you need to carry it in. And I guess with algae and stuff, you can't swim in here. I suppose there's just no reason to have a boat out here. Still though, doesn't that seem interesting that there's none at all? Alright, let's head back to the van. I wonder what she wants. What does Abby want? Hi. So that's what it ended up looking like. Not exactly roll tacos, but I think they still could be pretty good. Not the worst. Hard to hold the camera in, so. Alright. Hey!
Hello.
Are you my cameraman?
I am a cameraman.
Yay! Here. I'm actually gonna go in and drop the I gotta go sit somewhere where I'm not gonna get splinters on my ass. Are we ready to move on, Abby? She looks ready.
I feel like she's ready.
You look ready. Oh yeah, there's that. We're about to take off and head up the hill to our next destination. So I wanted to kind of close out this video and thank you for watching all the way to the end. It's a really interesting place, the Salton Sea. When we first looked into coming, you get one version of history and then you learn more from the different entities that are involved with this place as you go. The visitor center tells one story. The locals who run the RV park that we stayed at, they have another perspective. The towns that we drove through have very different vibes depending on where you are and how the nature has been affected in those areas. But I was under the impression that the Salton Sea, let me pick this up. I was under the impression that this was just a big accident, that this basin should never have been filled with this much water. But actually, I mean, if we're talking about nature, the dams that keep the water out of here are actually just as unnatural. And I wish I knew more about science, because I see this looks like sand from a distance, but the closer you get, you realize it's actually
bunch of little shells and little bones from all the things that can't live in there anymore. But it's really pretty too. The color is pretty, the mountains are pretty, it's so quiet. The fact that there's not a bunch of watercraft kind of adds to the stillness of it. Yeah, anyway, I'm really glad we came. Thank you so much for being here. We are Tumbleweeds Photo, and we're so happy to take you on our adventures with us. Have a great day. Mwah. Boxy appears to be ready to go. All right, let's go on to the next place. It looks like Abby is ready too.